for the enjoyment of the foreign troops? You're somebody who believes. You're somebody that believes in freedom?
That's right.
Whoa.
That's right.
Whoa. What type of... This is not land of the free, home of the brave, Mr. Chapman. This is land of Prozac, of subservience and being conned. Patriotism is giving up all your freedom and being stupid. You're a sicko, buddy. Okay?
You know, it's interesting. When I was living in Florida, a health food store person that owned the store told me that about 75% of the people over 65 are on something like Prozac. I couldn't believe it.
Well, those are good people. You know, Bob, I don't know. Bob, do you not like North Korea?
No, I don't like them. I don't like dictatorships of any kind.
Governments are trying to help the people. Kim Jong-il works so hard. You're an anti-government extremist, man. What next? Well, you're not going to like Lenin.
Oh, Nikolai and I had nothing in common.
Folks, I want to apologize to listeners right now for having a sicko on. Do you?
That's okay.
Do you like that criminal, Thomas Jefferson?
Of course. Absolutely. I go right to the end for Thomas Jefferson.
Hold on just a minute. I got to call the police here. Yes? Yeah, I'll hold. Thank you. Put me right through. Thank you. Hold on. Okay. Extension. Hold on. I'm calling the police department. Yes, officer. Yes, officer. I happen to have gotten on my radio show a guy, and I saw your MIAC and Homeland Security reports, and they said that if somebody has a Ron Paul sticker or talks about the Founding Fathers or makes frequent references to the U.S. Constitution, that I should call you immediately. They're a homegrown violent terrorist. Mm-hmm. Yes? Well, thank you. Well, I would like a cash prize. I would like to be part of InfraGard spying on my neighbors. That's what freedom's about, right? Yeah, exactly. 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 Our founding East German fathers. Thank goodness for them. So you're saying just don't let the terrorist know that I'm aware he's there. Give you his whereabouts, and then you'll send a SWAT team in the middle of the night. That'll show him. That'll teach him. That's how the good guys come in black uniforms at 3 a.m. Well, good. Now, so I did the right thing. Okay. Well, I mean, he is a really scary guy. I mean, he's talking about freedom. Really? Oh, that's a good government program. You're talking about castrating all men at birth so they wouldn't have this problem? That's better than the Ritalin and Prozac. Good. Good. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Bob. I had to get that call in as an American patriot. Go ahead. Go ahead, scum.
Well, I think that everybody has to look inside themselves to decide whether they want to be a terrorist or not. And I've chosen to be one in the eyes of the United States government. And it's one of the reasons I don't live there anymore, because they don't like people like me. And they threatened me before. And I believed them. I used to work for them, actually, at one time. And, you know, you mentioned the East Germans. You know, we spent so much time spying on them. And this man, Marcus Wolf, who is one of the most reprehensible, evil people who's ever lived on the planet.
You're not allowed to make moral judgments. A great patriot of government helping the people. Don't you put him down. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, our government hired him instead of hanging him.
See?
For what he did.
See? He's good. You're bad.
I've had a very interesting life among those things, and your commentary is excellent because it makes people understand what the government is up to and what their thought process is.
They're helping people. 11 years ago when they signed the secret deal to take all death benefits of troops. What, are you saying it's wrong when troops have paid into death benefits their whole life and they die and their widow gets the money? You're saying that wasn't a classy, cool, good thing of Prudential and other insurance companies are doing a secret deal with the government, Bloomberg AP? Are you saying that wasn't good? You're filth.
It was not good. It was terrible. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, there were 7 major insurance companies that received TARP funds as well.
They're good people.
So that they could gamble in the stock market.
They're good people.
Unbelievable.
No, you're bad. And, you know, I'm going to go to Walmart today, and when on the telescreen says report suspicious people, I have a Homeland Security new manual they're putting out in Oklahoma saying if people talk about politics, call the police. I'm going to call on you, buddy. I've got power. I know how to call people in black uniforms and report you. I'm a real American, not like you.
Please don't. Please. They might get me.
We're going to crush the enemy, aren't we, Chapman?
You bet your life we are.
I can feel
them.
We're
kicking the crap out of them right now on radio and through the internet, and they are running around in circles. They're expediting their program.
I'm sorry.
And they're in trouble, and they know it, and we have their names, addresses, phone numbers, and when this thing breaks open, they got a problem.
And all the king's horses and all the king's Homeland Security men aren't going to keep the big fat Humpty Dumptys together.
That's right. They've gone too far. Again, this is not the first time they've done this. But they don't care. That's the risk they're willing to take to subjugate the people of the world. And there's lots of very, very bright people out there who know what they're doing, who are telling people who don't realize what they're doing, and what you can do about it, or at least get prepared for it.
All right, I want to go back to... Bob, I want to go to some calls while we got you, but I was going to do these sarcastically and go, how dare you, Chapman, you don't like this? In fact, let me just go back into character and do it. How dare you, you American pig? And you can call me New World Order trash if you want, Bob. And, this is all just to illustrate absurdity for folks. Here's the NBC News. Alcohol detectors could be standard with all new cars. And they've also announced they want standard police cameras where they can dial in and watch you whenever they want. Now, that's BBC. Freedom. That's freedom. Here's another one. LAPD seizes antique weapon and bullets from Charlie Sheen's home because of the restraining order. Turns out they've already stopped the restraining order, but it was an old antique spiked Sharps rifle, a movie replica, but they don't care. An excuse to ransack his house looking for drugs. No drugs were found. Another police state issue. Rand Paul says, hands off my toilet. Federal government trying to control the toilet size, setting the precedent. Congress is moving to investigate Google being an NSA front. That's the National Journal, so some good news there. What do you think about that, Bob Chapman?
Same-o, same-o. And, I was just thinking about the business with Charlie, and I'm not going to go into the names and details, but there was a beautiful piece of property in Malibu. I lived there for a long time, and a gentleman and his wife lived there. And the government decided they wanted that piece of land, and they tried to put marijuana plants on this property. It didn't work out too well.
So they just walk up and shot him in the back. That's a famous story.
That's right. And I knew him. And not very well, but I knew him. I had met him through other people. And, when you're involved in coaching for a long, long time in a city, you know everybody and you know their kids. But anyway, they murdered him. And it's not too far from where I lived and Charlie and Martin live and so on. And that's the kind of police state we live in. This has been going on for years.
By the way, the police memos, that case made national news, came out where they were planning to kill him and get the property. Because it wasn't something like 80 acres or something. It was worth hundreds of millions, but he just wanted to keep it, and they kept saying sell it, and then the cops even tried to get the money themselves. But see, he deserved to die. You shouldn't own private property.
That's right. He's like me. I deserve to die because I'm a terrorist.
Yep, I'm glad you admit it.
And I'm very proud to admit it.
And all the babies deserve to be aborted, too. It's a Christian.
Well, I disagree with that, too.
Well, I'm being sarcastic, Bob, but, let's be modern Americans.
Well, I'm not very modern. I guess I'm, what would you call it? A
throwback.
A throwback. Sort of Pithecanthropus erectus or the... Cro-Magnon. Well, a little bit beyond that. A typical 12th century man.
So well, yeah, I kind of see myself as a Stone Age man. Of course, that would be 10,000 years ago, before the dawn of the Bronze Age, 9,000, and the Iberian Maxim. Let's talk to Josh in New York. You're on the air. Go ahead, Josh.
What's going on?
Worldwide transmission with a terrorist named Bob Chapman.
You're hilarious. Listen, now, I truly believe this is a government-controlled event today. I might be way off base here with this.
Well, the Pentagon admits they have tectonic weapons, Army Times, 1997. In fact, we ever looked that up. I think it was April 1997, Secretary of Defense coming. I'm sorry. So you think you're harping on HARP. What do you think happened?
I think there was bombs under the ocean. I think the government did this whole thing.
Well, there is the tsunami bomb that at the end of World War II, that's the Times of Australia, they were thinking about detonating a tsunami bomb, an A-bomb off the coast of Japan, but they decided just to go ahead and drop them on them. So it is true they have a tsunami bomb program. Bob Chapman, any comments on that?
No, not really. I grew up during that era, but other than the fact that they hit those two cities, my mind doesn't work in those channels.
Well, wait a minute. If you criticize dropping A-bombs on Japan, it didn't happen. If you support the dropping of the bombs, it happened and you're a patriot.
I think it was necessary because they didn't want to lose any more people.
Yeah. Well, then the attack existed then. It would be a conspiracy theory. There was no atomic attack if you're against it. Thank you, Josh. Let's talk. We're now globalists here on the show. Let's go ahead and talk to Steve in Florida. And if you don't like Florida, it doesn't exist. If you like it, it does exist. Stephen, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to say I'm very glad to be affiliated with Al-Qaeda Jones and Robert Barron Chapman. In good company with them. Hey, Alex, I wanted to give you a heads up. You may or may not be aware of this, but of course, you know, you've been talking about the situation in Japan and the potential deadliness that's there because of the nuclear reactors. I was watching a video presentation this guy put out on the internet, and I can't remember his name, but he was talking about how FEMA, and he showed the documentation from their own website, they have a emergency preparedness exercise planned in May.
Yeah, in the Mississippi area up by the corners of Arkansas and Kansas.
Yeah, the New Madrid fault line area where there's a huge nuclear reactor.
Well, you know, the Mississippi River's changed course a couple times just since the Louisiana Purchase because of earthquakes. There is a big fault line there, and they are doing a drill up there. And so, but, I mean, they did a drill of Building 7 being attacked on 9/11. They did drills of the 7/7 attacks at the exact same time, exact same place on the subways and bus. They did a drill of attacking Oklahoma City right before it happened. That's just a coincidence if there's an earthquake, sir. Okay, I appreciate your call. You are with Al-Qaeda. Thinking is with Al-Qaeda. The family is Al-Qaeda. Love is Al-Qaeda. Truth is Al-Qaeda. Love is America.
Imagine being free of debt in just 12 weeks without payment plans or negotiating or hiring an attorney. 18 years ago, we cracked the code of debt collections and set tens of thousands of people free of their debts. It's called Zero Debt Guaranteed, and it works for all debts.
My wages were being garnished, so I used the program and the attorney dropped the case and he returned my money within 2 weeks.
With Zero Debt Guaranteed, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Call our help desk for lightning fast assistance. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back, stop collection calls, prevent and stop wage garnishments and bank levies. Call Zero Debt Guaranteed now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program, 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Zero Debt Guaranteed.